Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend. Happy Saturday. With it being Saturday, once again, that means it's time for another episode of Yield Weekly Home Fragrance Roundup. This is a long-running series on my channel where I just chit-chat about all of the home fragrance that I was using around the house over the course of the past week. So what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, what I was lamping. I do all of this alongside my trusty assistant Alf, who is my pug. He is already asleep here on my lap, so I won't stick him up to the camera. We'll do that at the end of the video, but he is here. So those of you that are listening to this video with your earbuds in, you might hear some snoozing, snoring, perhaps some other sounds in the background of this video. You're not going crazy. That is just Alf doing his thing. It's his free pug ASMR that he provides here on this channel completely for free. And let's all tell him how grateful we are for his amazing snoozes. I am one of those pug people that definitely finds the pug snore to be really soothing. It doesn't annoy me. In fact, I feel like all pug people find the snoozing, the snoring really relaxing. Yeah, it's not for everybody. I get it. But man, it just is something that always just seems to calm me down. So anyway, enjoy that free pug ASMR here, and this is what it's like having a pug. If you've never had one, they're just noisy little creatures, but they really are the sweetest, and that is definitely what he is. He loves to hang out in my lap. So anyway, we have a lot of fall to talk about because it is September. You guys, it's September. It's finally here. It's still hot out. I know. It's still hot out. I hate that, but it is starting to cool down just a little bit. The evenings are starting to get a little bit cooler, and it's making my heart happy. So, but October can definitely get here a little faster because I am ready for temps that are in the 50s at the highest. Like, I just really, like 30 degrees is my ideal. I know. I love it. I love cold weather. It's not for everybody, but it is something that for me, like it just improves my mood. I get really depressed during the spring and the summer. Like I'm one of the people that finds the sun just really upsetting. So anyway, happy September, and raise your hand if you too are a fall girly. It's our time. It is our time to shine. So I cannot wait to get the sweatshirts out. But yeah, anyway, you guys, before we get into all of this home fragrance talk here from this past week, let's do the usual. Check out the description box. Loads of information down there. I will link some home fragrance related videos that might be helpful if you are newer to the home fragrance world. So for example, I have a candle crock and candle lamp 101 video that might be really helpful if you're interested in crocks and lamps. I think I need to update the links for the crocks in the description. I think that Boss Cobb's might be sold out of them right now. I'll have to double check, but I'll make sure to update where you can currently get a candle crock if you're looking for one. Usually I would say the Boss Cobb's, the white and the ivory are like the very best, just because they're really neutral, but sometimes those do go in and out of stock. So I'll try to pay a little better attention to that when I'm updating the description box every single week. But also down there will be links where you can get the candles that I'm talking about in this week's video. There's some discount codes down there. I also put the information in for the weekly candle sales that are available for the current weekend with the candle companies that I tend to personally frequent the most. So it's not for every single candle company out there, just the ones that I tend to favor and the ones that I feature the most of here on my channel. So anyway, you guys, there is much to discuss from this week, but as always, before we get into it, we're going to go do the tour of what's currently happening around the house in terms of home fragrance, and then we'll meet back here and we will discuss all of these other candles, because it was a good week for home fragrance. It really was. It's definitely a little fall heavy, but I'm here for it. Burning behind me here while I am filming today is Yankee Candle Apple Pumpkin. I recently reviewed this one. It is an absolutely amazing fall transitional fragrance. In fact, tomorrow's video, if I can get it filmed, is going to be some suggestions for fall transitional fragrances when it comes to home fragrance. I know not everybody is quite yet ready to dive into the super spicy, heavier gourmands or pumpkin types of fragrances. So for those of you that are not ready for that, tomorrow's video might be a good one to tune in for, because we're going to be talking about the kind of lighter side of fall. So the apple scents, the plum scents, cranberries. There's a lot that you can use as transitional fragrance. So I definitely look forward to sharing that video tomorrow. But if you have never tried this one, it's amazing. As you can see, I have a really nice deep wax pool here with this one. It's burning like a champ, no complaints, but just so you guys aren't surprised, you are going to see it in my master bedroom crock next weekend, because I'm going to be moving this one upstairs in the next day or two. The candle that I currently have in the master bedroom crock is kind of starting to peter out, and honestly, I'm ready for a different fragrance experience in the master bedroom. This one's going to be perfect. I really think that the Yankees do a great job in the candle crock. Listen, most of them, other than the golden pumpkin, have been burning really well for me. So I don't want you guys to think that there's anything wrong with them because I'm utilizing them in my crocks. I am one of those people that will use my candle crocks as just background fragrance. So I will sacrifice using air quotes, perfectly good candles to pop in there because I just really like the fragrance. And quite frankly, I get a lot more, I guess you could say, fragrance output in terms of length of time by melting the wax versus burning it in most cases. So anyway, love this one. And if you've never tried it, you definitely should. And yeah, let's move on to what else I am burning towards the back part of the house, because it also smells really good back there. Welcome to the family room, where I am currently burning a very old, I'm talking 2018, HomeWorx Spiced Vanilla Pumpkin. Do you guys remember these hobnails? I remember when they first came out. I'm really glad that over the years, Harry did away with the label on the front of the hobnails, because the design of these jars was always so beautiful, but I kind of felt like the label took away from the just the texture on the jar. Anyway, love this fragrance, and this one has been, I guess you could say, marinating, stewing, just chilling in my collection, obviously, for many, many years. I don't know why I never got around to burning these. I actually have a few of them left. I think I just was kind of saving them for no particular reason. But you know what? I am in a whole new mindset when it comes to my home fragrance. And that mindset really is enjoying what I have and not necessarily hoarding it or saving it for a quote unquote special occasion. I now have the firm belief that every day that you are alive is actually quite a special occasion. Life is really short. I spent a lot of money on these candles, and I need to be enjoying them and not stuffing them away in a closet. So I'm gonna enjoy these 2018 HomeWorx candles, which are so amazing at this point. They like I said, they've been stewing or marinating for years, and I don't know what it is about HomeWorx specifically, but I feel like the longer that you let them sit, the more potent they become. So yeah, I am going to be enjoying a lot of my older HomeWorx this fall. I did that this summer, and you know what? I loved every second of it. I enjoyed every single farm stand blueberry, farm stand peach, farm stand strawberry that I had. Well, I have one set left for next year, but I just burned them and loved them. And I really want to encourage those of you, especially those of you with really large collections, to think about starting to just really enjoy what you have and just making the most of, you know, this enjoyable experience. But anyway, back to this fragrance. It just is really delicious. It's a great gourmand. It is a slightly, I would say, heavier pumpkin. It's not overly spicy. It kind of has the perfect amount of spice to it. It's creamy. It is just delicious. And honestly, the like visual experience of burning this candle is just really beautiful as well. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy at least 2, maybe 3. I think I have 3 left in my collection, but you are gonna see me go through probably most of those this fall. I might save 1 for next fall, but like I said, my, I guess, main MO now when it comes to my home fragrance collection is to you know, obviously keep buying new things to test out and tell you guys about, but to also focus on what I have and really enjoy that stuff because I obviously bought it for a reason. So I might as well, you know, get that enjoyment out of it. But anyway, if you happen to have some of these hobnails in your collection from back in the day, you should bust them out and you should start burning them because they really were amazing. Yeah, anyway, let's move on to the kitchen where you're going to see another like longtime favorite of mine from HomeWorx. I don't think you're going to be surprised what it is, but let's head over there. Burning here on the kitchen island in the Chester Hurricane is my beloved HomeWorx Harvest Leaves. If you have been with my channel for a number of years, you know about my obsession with this particular fragrance. This was like, I think, my first true love from HomeWorx. I'm pretty sure this was released the very first year that HomeWorx appeared on QVC when Harry first launched the brand. And oh my gosh, have I loved it ever since. This is one of those fragrances that for me is perfect basically from the time that I start burning fall candles, which for me is mid-August usually. And I will take this one throughout the fall months. And honestly, I also burn this around the holidays. It is a staple for me for basically the last half of the year. My love for this one has never really faded. I just think it is the most perfect, fruity, just hint of spice, like fall type of fragrance. It's really sophisticated. It smells like a really elevated fragrance. And it's just beautiful. If you have never tried Harvest Leaves, what are you doing? Try it. I'm telling you, this is the one that for me, like just really captured my attention and started my love for HomeWorx. And like I said, ever since I purchased my first one back in, I don't know whether it was 2017 or 2018, I'm pretty sure it was 2017. But yeah, I haven't been able to quit this one and I don't think that I ever will. My fingers are crossed that Harry never discontinues this particular fragrance because honestly, I would riot. It would be a major problem. If you haven't tried this one, please consider seeking it out. It just is a really beautiful experience. And yeah, I mean, you've heard me talk about it for years, so it really is worth trying out. Let's go see what I have going underneath my lamp in the kitchen this week. Okay, I am holding the camera, so hopefully this doesn't get too shaky, but underneath the candle lamp in the corner of the kitchen here, I am still melting the Bath & Body Works Pistachio Milk and Honey, which I personally loved, but based on the reaction to my review of it, I guess everyone else hated it. Figures. But yeah, I love this one. Man, I love a good pistachio fragrance, and I thought this one was incredibly well done. I was so surprised that so many people were like, yeah, that wasn't for me. So here I was thinking like, oh, there's no way Bath & Body Works is not going to bring this one back. It's so good. And then, yeah, I start hearing the feedback, and now I think I'll probably never see this one again. So anyway, for what it's worth, I love this one. I did definitely pour out some wax during the like middle part of this week. So I exposed a nice fresh layer there and it smells wonderful. Honestly, it's a great background fragrance. So the wicks clogged on this one. I got puny wick syndrome, which I wasn't surprised by. It has those thick tree stump wicks, which you guys, you know how I feel about them. But I will say, I think it actually maybe is even a little stronger underneath the lamp. So I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm just gonna melt it until I have no wax left and I guess never see it again since everybody else hated it. So anyway, that's what's going underneath the lamp in the kitchen. Let's check out what's going in the laundry room. Also, just a quick sneak peek here. This just arrived from Kringle. This is a PR package. I will be sharing what's in here very early next week. Also, can we get a round of applause for my new Pepto-Bismol pink Adidas campus shoes? Oh my gosh. You guys, they're back. 1995 called, and these shoes, they're totally back in style. Anyway, if you're interested in this color, I got it at Zoomies. So anyway, let's head into the laundry room. Sorry about the laundry. This is a working laundry room, so those are my towels. Let's ignore those and focus on what's in the crock. This crock, ooh, I'm loving what's in here. It's the Yankee Candle Spiced Pumpkin. I just reviewed it. Listen, I had no issues with this one in terms of the burn. It was just another situation of I wanted to switch out what was currently in this candle crock. And I wanted something new and delicious that I loved, and this one won. So this has been acting as a background fragrance now for a few days, and oh, it's so good. Honestly, I want the melt cups in this one. I do have one Yankee Candle centerpiece that, actually, I think I have two. Oh my gosh, I think I have a pumpkin shaped one. I need to go upstairs and look through my home fragrance closet because that's where it is stashed. When I was taking out my fall Scentsy warmers, I didn't really dig through things too much. I just kind of grabbed. But yeah, I do actually have two centerpieces, and this particular one is, it's so good, you guys. The spice in here is mwah, chef's kiss. This is a little bit more nutmeg forward to my nose, and I really love that aspect. So, and that nutmeg, honestly, when all of the wax is melted in the crock like this, it really shines even more. So what I think I might do is pick up another one of the tumblers to maybe just melt, and then be able to have the centerpiece up in my kitchen or something like that. I don't know. But moral of the story is if you have not tried spiced pumpkin from Yankee Candle, it is really, really good. So anyway, that's what's in here. Let's head upstairs to see what is in the crock in the master bedroom. So this is Kringle Amberwood Moss. This has been in here now for 2 weeks. I still definitely smell a little bit of the original fragrance, but it has mostly petered out. And honestly, I kind of want to switch it up. So this is where the apple pumpkin is moving next, which I'm really looking forward to. But this fragrance is really, really beautiful. If you have never tried this one, I honestly cannot recommend it enough. It is really beautiful. It is definitely a little bit fresher, a little bit more, I would say, perfumey. So it's not going to be for everybody, but I think it's really well done. So if you're looking for something a little different for fall, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. But I don't think of this one as necessarily like super fall-y in its presentation, I guess you could say. Like, as in, I think this could be burned during other times of the year as well, when you're craving something a little bit more perfumey, something a little bit more fresh, that would be the perfect time to pull out something like this. But yeah, I am going to reuse the rest of the wax that's in here in one of my fire starters that I like to make. So this wax is not going to waste, but I did enjoy 2 solid weeks of continuous like 24/7 fragrance output. I know that I mentioned to you guys that I was probably thinking about turning off my Crocs at night and that I would report back on that, but I didn't do that at all this week. I left them on 24/7 again. I actually do have some like timers that I could use for my candle Crocs because I use timers for our Christmas trees, but I just haven't set those up. So yeah, anyway, moral of the story is this one's going to be retiring out of here. We're changing it out with something else, but I really did actually enjoy this fragrance. I think I will pick it up again in the future, but probably in the wax melts. I think this is one where I might prefer it more in specific rooms, and it really was potent enough to travel a little further than that. So for that reason, I think it might make a better wax melt for me in the future, but it is a really lovely fragrance and something that is out of my like normal usual wheelhouse. I am getting into the more perfumey scents, but yeah. Anyway, this one's really good. If you haven't tried it, try it out. Wax melts, daylights are available, so maybe start there if you're unsure about it, but it is a really nice fragrance. This is Kringle Rosewood and Vetiver. It's a new fragrance for fall 2025 from Yankee Candle, obviously. And I just put this one in this crock probably about 3 hours ago. And you guys, I have to turn it off. It is so insanely strong in the candle crock that I can smell this all the way downstairs in the kitchen. I'm not going to take you guys on like a full tour of, you know, like the distance from this room to the kitchen, but suffice it to say, like, you have to go down a hallway, turn down another hallway, go down the stairs, go through the entryway into the kitchen area, and this is traveling that far coming from this candle crock just within the last 3 hours. Honestly, it is so strong in this room and in the upstairs hallway that I think both Stella and Craig are going to come home from school and work today and they're going to be like, no. This is headache inducing. Even for me, this is way too much. If you are looking for the most potent candle to put into your candle crocks, this is it. Rosewood and Vetiver. Put it in the cart. If that is you, put it in the cart. Bring it home to you. Put it in your candle crock and be prepared to literally be blown out of your house. You guys, this is a strength and throw of like beyond a 10. It's too much. And even just sitting here behind the camera smelling it for the last like, I don't know, what has it been, like 2 minutes now? It's too much. I'm starting to feel a little like nauseous. I can't let this go. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to make some wax melts out of this. I do want to melt this. Listen, I actually like this fragrance. I really like the tobacco note, but I don't need a tobacco note this strong. It's way too overwhelming. It's way too strong. I cannot do it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to utilize this one. Now that I have melted all of the wax, I can't go back to burning it. The wick clips could potentially detach from the bottom, and I don't want a fire hazard on my hands. So what I'm gonna do is clean out some of my Scentsy clamshells, like leftover clamshells, and I'm gonna pour this wax into those, let it harden, and then I'm going to use this a little more sparingly in my Scentsy warmers. I have used Kringle soy wax in my Scentsy warmers before, and it actually melts pretty well. So don't worry. This isn't going to like go into the trash or anything, but I just need a different way to use it because it's too much. Like seriously guys, I have to get out of this room. I have to turn this off. It is way too overwhelming. But if that is what you are looking for, you should get this rosewood and vetiver and you should just melt it. I only have a little less than half the wax in here and it is that potent with that level of wax. So anyway, let's go back downstairs so that I don't get a headache and let me turn this bad boy off. And then I'll come back up here and hopefully the residual heat will kind of keep the wax liquefied while I film the rest of this video, but I gotta do something different with this because this is, I should not be smelling this in my kitchen. I literally cannot tell you how far the kitchen is from this room, and for me to be smelling something from this room down there is nuts. Yeah, it's mingling with the spiced pumpkin. It's mingling with the harvest leaves, and it should not be doing that, not from this distance. So, all right, off we go. So last week I shared this hurricane that I found at Ashley Furniture. One of my amazing subscribers, Tammy, actually found it first and posted about it. And so most of you that have been here for a little while are aware of the disaster that I had with the Pottery Barn Sherborne hurricane, which was a very similar format. I broke the glass and it broke my heart, not only because the piece was kind of expensive, but it was just really beautiful. And I haven't been able to find an affordable like replacement up until this. So what I decided to do was to spray paint the base with the Rust-Oleum hammered burnished amber spray paint, which has a little bit of a hammered texture to it. So I use that on the base here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can zoom in so that you can maybe see that, but I love that color for the base. So pretty. And then I discovered that the new Yankee Candle tree stump holder, the candle accessory, which by the way was gifted to me by the amazing Riley. This is the perfect fit for this particular hurricane. Look how pretty that is. This is slightly smaller than the Sherborne, so a lot of the HomeWorx pedestals, in fact, I would say none of my HomeWorx candle pedestals fit in here. The Bath & Body Works pedestals did for sure, you know, those candle accessories, but the HomeWorx ones do not. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys how much prettier it looks with the spray painted base. I think the light wood honestly was fine. I'm just not much of a light wood person. Honestly, this table is a little bit too light for my liking. I've always wanted to refinish it, but I haven't got around to it. So that is what it is. But I do prefer a darker wood finish, and this burnished amber was just perfect for this. So anyway, if you are looking for this hurricane, I'll link it again in the description box, but it's really pretty. And if you purchase this particular accessory from Yankee this year, you should plop it in here because it's just really pretty. So anyway, let's move on. I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what is currently happening around the house in terms of home fragrance. It smells really good in here, but I do really have to do something else with that Kringle rosewood and vetiver because it is way, way too potent in the candle crock. So again, if you're looking for like a almost borderline headache inducing experience in terms of strength and throw from a candle, specifically in a candle crock, you cannot go wrong with that one. Let me tell you. I turned that crock off and listen, that rosewood and vetiver is gonna linger quite a bit down here. It doesn't smell bad. It actually is kind of blending nicely with what I currently have going, but I don't necessarily want that like to be the predominant fragrance in the house. Like I feel like it kind of takes over the gourmands, and that's really kind of what I think is most special about fall, at least to me when it comes to home fragrance, is all of these amazing gourmand scents. And while I really do like that rosewood and vetiver, it's just way too potent. It is. I should have just kept burning it. I don't know. I regret that. Listen, sometimes you regret things. Anyway, let's talk about the candles that I finished this past week. First, I'm going to start with the 2 candles that I took out of my candle crocks just about a day or so ago here. So it was these 2 candles here. So the first one is Bobbing for Apples. This was part of the Boo Crew. So I did reuse the rest of the wax in the fire starters that I make. If you're curious about these fire starters, there's a video about that, so check the description box. But yeah, Bobbing for Apples smelled so much better in the candle crock than it did burning for me. Burning, this was a very perfumey apple scent. I think I'm one of the few people that got a perfumey apple note from this. Most people smelled a juicy, fresh apple when they were burning it. Not my experience, but when I moved it to the crock and melted the wax, it smelled a lot more like an actual like apple, like edible apple fragrance. It still had a tiny hint of perfuminess, but it completely changed the fragrance by melting it. So I'm glad that I didn't give this one away. I almost thought about giving it away, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna try melting it because I wonder if that will kind of change it a little bit, and it really did. So anyway, I'm not sure if this one is still available. Most of the Boo Crew sold out very quickly. There will be a restock coming, and as soon as that restock is announced, I will let you guys know. I'll let you know in my Instagram stories. If you want to follow me, it's just MrKongsMom over on Instagram. And then I will also notify you here in my community tab. I'm waiting for the Boo Crew to drop because there are some fragrances that I need some backups of, and unfortunately the day of the launch, I originally was not supposed to be working that morning, but we got some last minute orders, and so I had to go make floral deliveries. By the time that I got back home at like, I think 1:30 is when I got back home, everything that I wanted was pretty much gone. So I was like, well, that's great. But I was lucky enough, obviously, to receive the first round in PR. I just really fell in love with this particular collection, and I just wanted like one backup of each to be able to have on hand for next year, just in case Kringle doesn't bring those fragrances back next year, which a lot of times they don't. They'll switch things up, and I loved these Boo Crew fragrances. Like, they really were, I would say, the epitome of what I am looking for in terms of fall home fragrance. So really great collection. I am super happy for everyone that got their hands on them, but for those that didn't and were super bummed, there is a re-pour coming. So like I said, I'll let you know as soon as it's available, and hopefully they are able to produce in enough quantities to where everyone can get, you know, like at least one of, you know, the scents that they were hoping to get their hands on. So one of each of the scents that they were hoping to get their hands on. So this is the one that I would not repurchase. But every single other fragrance in the Boo Crew was gonna go into my cart. So anyway, I decided to, by the way, you can't really tell, but in these Bath & Body Works candle holders here on these matching end tables, I have the little devil, both the kitten, and then I put the pug on the outside here. And I can see their little faces peeking over the leaves, and they're so cute. I love the labels too. I love the Boo Crew. Man, that was the collection this year for me. When it came to Kringle, I friggin' loved it. Anyway, what else do I have here? I have Golden Pumpkin. This came out of the candle crock that was in the laundry room. This burned bad for me. This is one of the few new Yankees that I was like, but it was the wicks. The wicks were they declined very quickly early on into the burn of this. They just got clogged. Puny wick syndrome, we all know what it is. So anyway, I decided to melt it, and honestly, I loved it melting. It was great. But I will say the fragrance kind of dissipated a little bit more quickly. That being said, I did get pretty much 2 solid weeks out of it, so I don't know, it was great. Would I repurchase it? I would actually repurchase that particular fragrance because I happen to like it. Not everybody did, but I really did like it. But I think I need to try it in the 3 wick and see if maybe the wick situation is different on the 3 wick. I'm assuming it's going to be. All right, these next 3 candles that I also finished, I burned. So I burned all of these, I like to say, to the ground. I didn't burn them to the ground, I just burned them to the wick clips. All right, first one, my beloved. This is one of my other like long time loves from HomeWorx. It's their hot cider donut. Listen, I lost a wick on this one, and I'm gonna show you. I lost the wick probably just beyond the halfway point. It just seemed to snap off. You can see it there, it's laying on its side. But look at how well those other 3 wicks compensated for that one missing wick. I lost this wick when the candle was probably around this level here. So yeah, just because you have a wick go down doesn't mean that, you know, you can't just continue to burn the candle. It is clearly less than ideal. I don't know what caused this. I have never been one that has had a lot of wick issues with the HomeWorx candles. I feel like they've kind of resolved that over the last couple of years, but this one was poured in 2019. So I think I remember back then is when a lot of people were dealing with the wicks that would just kind of snap for no reason. But as you can see, it still burned really well. And I loved it. This one was really potent because it is from 2019. It's been sitting for many years at this point. And I'm serious, like when it comes to HomeWorx, I think that for whatever reason, letting these sit, it just causes them to have a little bit more oomph to them. This was fine. I think the very first time that I burned, you know, the first ones that I bought in 2019, but I do think it is definitely stronger now than it was in 2019. It was a great experience other than this wick giving out. So, also there is a fly. There's a fly in here. It's driving me nuts. It's probably, you're gonna see it probably coming in front of the camera here. I have been battling this stupid fly. I've literally been chasing it. We have one of those like zapper things, those bug zappers. I've been chasing it around the house and I keep missing it. Alf has been really sweet trying to help. He's actually pretty good at catching flies. Those are his sky raisins. But yeah, he has not been able to catch this one. Neither have I. So, all right. Other candles that I burned. Man, I finished 3 candles this week, which is amazing because I finished so few candles in August. It was kind of a depressing August home fragrance empties, but look at what I finished, and I burned it all the way down. I did not put this in a candle crock. I didn't need to. This was apple rum cake. This was the one like super true gourmand that came out from Kringle Candle this fall. They should have put out more fragrances like this. This is a tough fragrance for a lot of people on cold sniff, and I gotta say for me it was kind of a tough cold sniff experience as well. It's really boozy on cold sniff, and several people have stated this in the comments when I've mentioned this one, and they've said like, ooh, at first I was like, oh, what is this? But then they burned it and they were like, this is amazing. That is the experience for most people with this fragrance. You're gonna get it and you're gonna go, what is happening here? You just need to light it. I'm telling you, light the candle. It transforms. It smells so rich, so delicious. There is still a little bit of booziness, but it's not nearly as boozy when you're burning it. Anyway, amazing, fantastic, gorgeous, clean burn on this bad boy. No issues at all. It's fantastic. I would never, however, purchase this in a 4-wick because I feel like it would be way too overwhelming. I will repurchase this in the future, but it will be in the 2-wick version. I rarely ever say that with Kringle, but I feel like this would be just, again, way too much in the 4-wick, but man, it was good. Great strength and throw. Great candle. Also, this had great strength and throw. What is this? This is Toasted Vanilla Cupcake. Toasted Vanilla Cupcake is, I feel like this has been around for a while with HomeWorx. I want to say, I think this actually was one of like the first, or it was out at least in the first couple of years that HomeWorx first came into existence. This is a really delicious, very rich, very decadent dessert type of fragrance. The notes on this one are vanilla, caramel, sugar, cream, and vanilla bean. You do smell the caramel in here, but it is not overwhelming. I don't normally like caramel. I'm starting to come around to it a little bit more. In fact, I had caramel this week in this candle as well, and I thought it was really enjoyable. This is another time where I think caramel is used properly in that it is not the main focus of the fragrance. It really does smell like a baked good. You smell the vanilla, you smell that cream, which essentially kind of comes across as like a buttercream frosting. You get that vanilla bean as well. It's perfectly sweet. I don't think it's overdone. And it had a great burn from start to finish. No problems with this one. Cute label, just a bunch of cupcakes. Looks delicious. I would love a cupcake right now. Also, I finished this one. This is so good. I am desperate for this to come back, but in a 4-wick format. This was a part of the Orchard Treats trio from the QVC Big Deal that was available from HomeWorx a few weeks ago now. It is still available. I'm not sure what the price point is now. That Orchard Treats trio is fantastic. All three had really good strength and throw for being a 3-wick, and they all burned like champs. I will say, I found the last burn of this one to be very interesting. You can see the wick clips, obviously. I'm gonna see if I can get this close to the camera so that you can see. Can you see that? Okay, do you see how those two here like burned way further down than the one over here? I don't know why that happened. There is still, how much wax is, well, it's honestly not, it's not like a lot of wax. There's just a little bit left in the bottom here. I could probably melt this, but am I gonna do that? No, I'm not gonna do that. I've got enough candles that I'm currently working my way through, but I enjoyed this one immensely. This is a delicious, mostly blackberry forward fragrance that is so well done. And it's another example of maple, this time around, not caramel, but maple, another fragrance note that I'm a little about usually. Maple done right. It's a little tiny hint of maple. The notes are fresh blackberry, which is predominantly what you're smelling here, vanilla ice cream, sweet maple syrup, and fresh cinnamon. There's not even like a ton of cinnamon in here. It is mostly blackberry and just mostly really delicious. In fact, all the way delicious. Man, these are the most perfect, like, purple blackberries that I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever seen a blackberry quite this beautiful, but yeah. Certainly if they came looking like that, I might be willing to go pick them and deal with the spiders that also hang out in blackberry bushes. Our neighbors right next door here, they actually have blackberry bushes in their backyard, and they will go and pick blackberries very regularly, but they have told me about the enormous spiders that live in those bushes, and so they're always like, you go pick all the blackberries you want, and I'm like, no thanks. If you want to pick them for me, rinse them, get all the bugs off, and then get them to me, perfect. But yeah, listen, I am not a spider person. If you are, I think that's really good for you, but I can't do the spiders. They're not my thing. More than 4 legs or no legs at all is really hard for me. Obviously, with the exception of like fish, which, you know, don't have any legs, but like snakes. I'm not a big snake person either. That doesn't have anything to do with this video. It's just a fun fact about me. Let's go on. All right, let's talk about this one just because I just mentioned it. This is the Day at the Cafe from Bath & Body Works. So I reviewed this one this week. This is kind of smells like a caramel macchiato. It smells really good. This is caramel done right, you guys. This is more of a hint of caramel. I smell more coffee here than I do anything else, but someone else who commented on my review of this said that they smelled only caramel. So I think it's just gonna vary from nose to nose what you actually smell in this one, but the notes are rich cold brew coffee, frothed milk, and sweet caramel syrup. The caramel is a very small part of this fragrance for my nose, which is why I like it. Once again, caramel done right, not like caramel being the only thing that my nose is able to focus on. So that's a great one. Loved it. I really love this one. I'm gonna hope that it has, oh, it has solidified. Okay, she is solid. I was just burning this earlier in the morning. This is Cozy Sunday Night. This is cinnamon, crystallized ginger, and vanilla bean. And for whatever reason, this one smells like a Christmas tree to my nose. Those are not the notes at all on this one, but it just smells like a really great tree scent. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I love it. Maybe I'm somehow turning ginger into like fir or it's not even like a distinct fir or like balsam or evergreen or like noble fir, like it's so interesting. When I smell this, I just think Christmas tree. Anyway, I bought like 5 of these without knowing that I actually like ordered 5. I may have had an edible the evening that I placed my Bath & Body Works order, and when this came, I shared my haul. And I was really surprised that I had 5 of these in the box, but I did. So now I have a good amount to get me through the remainder of this fall and then also through the holidays, because I like burning this one during the holidays. So yeah, obviously the packaging is not very holiday-like, so I'll have to find a candle sleeve for Christmas to hide these pink feathers here, but it is a great fragrance. I love that one. Let me know if you also smell Christmas tree in that one. All right, next. You guys, I need to review this one. I love it. I love it. I just took the lid on, but let me put the lid back on because look at this. It's so cute. It's like a mini of the hearth. Still almost the size of my head. I have a really big head. So this is a big candle. This is Voluspa Spiced Pumpkin Latte. This is heavenly. Man, this is good. It actually really doesn't smell too much like a latte. There's creaminess, I will say. Maybe that's the latte part of it, but it's really beautiful. If you've never tried this one, you should. Now, the newer like glass design for the Spiced Pumpkin Latte this year is stunning. Wait until you see it. I bought this one earlier this year when I was able to get a really great deal on this. I think I paid maybe $35 or $40 for this. I mean, I got it on an incredible sale. I don't even remember the website. It was a really obscure website, but it's an actual Voluspa. Like, I made sure. They are an authorized retailer of Voluspa, but yeah, I think they were just kind of doing away with this particular, are these the Japonica? Yeah, the Japonica collection. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm probably not, but yeah, the new jar looks a little different, equally as beautiful, but yeah, I'll be reviewing this one for you when I get a little further down. I don't think I've ever reviewed this fragrance, but I love it. And I love that it looks like a mini of the Mega Hearth candles, which you guys know that I absolutely adore. All right, we know how I feel about this. I feel like I don't have to say too much about it. It's Yankee Candle Cranberry Chutney. I just love it. It smells like my mom's cranberry chutney that she makes at Thanksgiving. It's so good. It doesn't smell like canned cranberry, which I think is absolutely disgusting. I don't understand canned cranberry. Let me know if you are someone who prefers the like gelatinous goo that comes out of the can, or whether you are someone who makes the cranberry chutney or cranberry sauce from scratch. I just have never liked the stuff that has come out of the can. I feel like the cranberries taste a little metallic out of a can. I think that's my main beef, but also just the gelatinous nature of the canned cranberry. I've never really understood that. But making fresh cranberry chutney is insanely easy. I can do it. And if I can do it, everyone can do it. Just buy the whole cranberries, follow the instructions from whatever recipe you find online. But basically, we like to do the whole cranberries, fresh squeezed orange juice. So we'll put the juice of one like navel orange in. Sugar, obviously, you're gonna need some sugar. So I believe it's like, for a big bag of cranberries, I think we put in like a cup of sugar. And then I also like to put some orange zest in there as well. Well, my mom started that. She likes to put some orange zest in there as well. And it is so good, you guys. It's so simple. It's so easy to make. You just let those cranberries cook down and it just creates the most delicious cranberry stew, chutney, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this smells exactly like it and I love it. I love this. This is my first One True Love from Yankee Candle, and even after all these years, discovered it in 1997, I'm still in love with this Yankee Candle fragrance. And thank you, Yankee, for changing your wax formulation. It's working out well for me. Also burned this a couple times this week. This is Harvest, which is supposed to smell like red hot cinnamon, but does not smell like red hot cinnamon to my nose. It smells amazing. There's definitely some spice to this, but it's not overly spicy. It's just really delicious, really well done. I did just recently review this, so I feel like I don't need to talk about it too much, but I am going to be re-reviewing my beloved cranberry chutney at some point in the next couple weeks or so, and I'm really excited to be able to do that because, yeah, I think I reviewed this a very long time ago on my channel. I have loved that, like I said, since 1997. Pardon as I reach. Okay, 3 more candles and then we will dig into the wax melts. Gosh, I've been talking a long time. All right, Honey Crisp Hayride. I love this. This is so good, you guys. I'm officially at the halfway point now, so I need to review this, but oh my gosh, this is an amazing apple. This is going to be another suggestion for a fall transitional fragrance, so you'll see this again tomorrow. But also on top of that, autumn. So good. I will say, I burned this one once this week, and it really, it has a little bit of a dirty burn, but I'm still burning it. I should not be because I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to the quality of the burn. And this one, you can see that discoloration. Like you can tell it's kind of starting to get a little dirty inside the jar here, but I am almost done. So maybe I'll just keep burning this one. But what I want to say about this is the strength and throw of this is, at least this version right here, is like a 6 at best for both. I can still very much smell it, but it's not quite as potent as previous years' versions of autumn, which is a little bit of a bummer, but at least I have autumn because I didn't think they were coming back with this one. What is so funny about this is there is eucalyptus in here, and if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, there's a few fragrance notes that I'm a little like about, and eucalyptus is like almost, I would say, #1. I am a florist, so we just deal with a lot of eucalyptus at work, and while some people find eucalyptus to be clarifying, energizing, or even relaxing in some cases, I don't find that to be the case because eucalyptus reminds me of work. That is what I deal with at work, is eucalyptus. I don't want to come home and have my house smell like my job. I don't. So for me, eucalyptus is kind of a hard pass. But I will say the eucalyptus in the autumn is chef's kiss. It's just a little hint of it. That's fine. A hint of it is fine, but just a whole load of eucalyptus is not for me. All right, I need to review this one here because I'm almost done. I've been burning this one all week and it has been so good. This is HomeWorx Black Pumpkin Woods. This is a part of like their Halloweeny collection this year. This is a really interesting mix of a little hint of smokiness, a little bit of pumpkin, a little bit of like a typical fall spice blend, but really well done. I like the like smoky ember type note in this one a lot. I think this is the first time actually that I've had like a smoky fragrance from HomeWorx that I think is really kind of perfectly done. And this black is so beautiful. It's just really, really stunning. I love the texture of these jars. So pretty. I'm definitely gonna have to keep this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll clean it out and I'll give it to Stella and she can put like Q-tips or cotton balls or I don't know, maybe her, oh, this would be really pretty for makeup brushes, wouldn't it? I don't think she has a pretty brush holder right now. Maybe I'll clean this out for Stella. But before I do that, I need to, I think there's gonna be like one last burn. I burned this like it was my full-time job this week. I could not put this one out. It was really, really good. So I'll probably have a review for this up early next week. So stay tuned for that. Last, let's dig into the bucket of this week's wax melts. It was all Scentsy again. All right, I have to say, you guys, I got my Scentsy catalog. Actually, you know what? Thank you for your patience. Here is the catalog. Look how thin it is. You guys, it's how many pages? 15 pages. That's it. And it is, it's a very basic catalog. So here are all of the, mainly I want the catalog for the descriptions when I am ordering my wax melts, but you basically get 1, 2, 3, not even 3 whole pages here because they just really have scaled this back so much in terms of the descriptions. But it did kind of bum me out. Like I texted Lisa and I was like, oh, this really is it, huh? And she was like, yeah. I kind of feel like this is it feels like kind of a transition, like it's a transitional year for Scentsy. There have definitely been a lot of changes. They are also now going to start selling candles, which, by the way, I will be reviewing because I am curious. Scentsy's big thing has always been to be flameless, yeah, now they have the flame too. If you want the flame, honestly, I feel like it was probably a smart decision to do that. Kind of a strange decision based on, you know, how they always approach this whole like, you know, flameless home fragrance journey. But there are the vast majority of people who I know are into home fragrance. They utilize wax melts and candles. I think there are very few people that just do candles or just do wax melts. Most of us do some kind of combination of the two. And then others amongst us also, you know, utilize devices like Pura as well. So there are many different forms of home fragrance that you can enjoy, but it was kind of an interesting thing to hear that after all these years of being flameless, they are now embracing the flame. So I will be judging their candles pretty hard because based on the price point, I kind of feel like the price doesn't really make sense. So I think they're gonna have to come down, but also I haven't actually experienced the candles yet. So I'm gonna try to hold back, but I just think based on the price point for the number of ounces and the hours of burn, it just seems a little high. Also, it's gonna be hard for Scentsy to compete with all of these other candle companies like Bath & Body Works, like HomeWorx, like Kringle, like Yankee. Voluspa doesn't have sales too terribly often, but I buy my Voluspa mostly from Bloomingdale's. They usually have really good sales there, but yeah, like all of these other like home fragrance companies have regular sales. Now, I don't know if Scentsy is going to put their candles on sale every single weekend. That's not their model, so I highly doubt it. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I am just really curious to see how this goes. I am excited about some of these new fragrances. So yeah, I have some things coming my way, so I will be sharing a haul here soon, but there's also some things that some other things that I need to buy some backups of. But anyway, this is the very small teensy tiny Scentsy catalog. Yeah, here they have all of the fragrances. I am just gonna put little check marks here by the things that I need to get some backups of. Oh, you're back. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Hi. Okay, so since he's like out and about now, this is Alf if you're new. He's the super cutest and just the sweetest boy. Yeah, he's the mommy's boy. All right, let's talk about these fall wax melts here. These are all wax melts that I had left over from last fall, so let's dig in. We have Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl, delightful. Very pumpkin-y, very beautiful cinnamon note here. It's like a Ceylon cinnamon. It's not red hot cinnamon. It is amazing. Definitely something that I would repurchase in the future. And a really nice strength and throw from that one as well. This is Spiced and Spirited. Was this left over from last fall? Must have been. Delicious. Just a nice spice scent. Not much else going on here. A little bit of vanilla, but mostly just like you are opening a spice cupboard that has predominantly like baking spices in it. You know, take out the onion powder, take out the garlic powder, things like that. But like, you know, the baking spices. This smells like you are opening a spice cabinet that just has baking spices in it. Great strength and throw from this one as well. This is Pumpkin Tiramisu. Really nice creamy pumpkin here, but a little lighter in terms of like the overall oomph behind this one, but still a great fragrance. This is Mandarin Toffee Treat. Now this one, it's kind of interesting. There are times when buddy, you're sitting on my shirt here. There are times when I smell this one and I think, I really like this. And there are other times when I smell this one and I'm just like, I don't actually know if I do like this. It's a very interesting mix of mandarin and like a hint of like a vanilla. So it almost smells like a creamsicle, like an orange creamsicle, but mandarin creamsicle. And then just a little, like a small sprinkling of like some nutmeg or something. I don't know. I feel like these are all notes that I really actually like, but I don't know that I like them together in this fragrance all the time. Like I said, some days when I walk past this, who am I saying some days? I had this in my warmers for like 3 days, but you know, like I'd walk past sometimes and be like, yeah, I like that. And then other times I'd be like, no, I don't think I do. Let me know if you have a fragrance like that. But apparently the Mandarin Toffee Treat is that fragrance for me. I don't know how I feel about it. Pumpkin Cashmere. This is definitely a nice gourmand, I would say like white pumpkin. But there's also an interesting kind of perfuminess to this one as well. Just kind of at the end. It goes a little perfumey for me, but it's mostly gourmand. It's an interesting one. I like this one. Actually, I think I would wear it repurchase that one. Cherry clove chutney. Yeah, this one was going earlier in the week. I still think this smells a little bit medicinal. Sometimes cherry can smell like cherry cough drops, you know, like the Luden's cherry cough drops. I really don't like that kind of cherry. And there are moments when this one really does smell like the Luden's cherry cough drops. And there's other times where I think it smells a little bit more just like a cherry, like an edible cherry, but a slightly candied, still edible cherry. But it's just interesting how it kind of waffles between those two for me, from being like a super medicinal cherry to a more like edible, but also at the same time, slightly artificial still cherry. This is one that I don't think that I would repurchase in the future. So there's that. And then I did use 2 cubes, the apples and oats. Did I do apples and oats this week? No, this was leftover from last week. I will be doing apples and oats again next week. But this is Perk Me Up. It was a Bring Back My Bar, because it has a little Bring Back My Bar sticker. So I feel like these have not had the Bring Back My Bar sticker for a couple of Bring Back My Bars at this point. So this one's a little older, but it's a really nice coffee scent. I love coffee as a transitional fragrance as well. So, you know, as much as I love the fruity, you know, apple type fragrances as transitional scents, I also think that coffee makes a great transitional fragrance. So all that being said, I love this Perk Me Up. I really like this one alongside my beloved almond croissant. If you are looking for the ultimate like breakfast experience and you have both of these, pair them. They are delightful. I think that's what I'm going to be doing with these 2 here. Well, minus these 2 cubes that I already used. Anyway, guys, that's everything that I have for you this week. I really appreciate you being here. Alf has been back to snoozing here, so I'm gonna have to wake this guy up as I get up to put all these things away. But I really appreciate you guys being here today. Let me know what you're burning and melting this past week in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Scentsy catalog, if you got one. Do you think this is also kind of dinky? I don't know. I hope they go back to like the full catalogs, which I don't know. I guess you could consider a catalog wasteful at this point since we can get everything online, but I don't know. There's something about a catalog. I was that girl that grew up in the 80s and 90s who would take the catalogs from like JCPenney's, you know, the department stores, and I would go through and I would mark pages. I would circle different things that I had my eye on. Not that I had any money or even had parents who had that kind of money to be able to just buy me whatever I wanted out of a catalog, but I don't know, it was kind of a fun thing to do as a kid. So anyway, yeah, I love me a catalog is the moral of the story, and that's a sad catalog. All right, again, have a great rest of your weekend. Let me know what you're burning and melting in the comments down below, and I appreciate you being here. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a thumbs up, and Alf and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo. Ooh, off he goes.